Hey guys, hopping on here a little bit early just to see how this all works. If my audio is bad, I will fix it for next time. I just realized my door's open and my cats can come in, so hang on. Okay, sorry. I have like a plethora of snakes right here and I don't need my cats to come on. All right, let me get live on Instagram real quick and see how that's gonna work. Okay, so I am live on both my Instagram and on the YouTube here. So hello everybody, how are you guys doing on this lovely Saturday? I thought that I would go over today the different T-negative projects that I have, specifically go over the 007 T-negative that I have. I'll show you guys one of them. You'll come out. All right, so this is one of them here. Kind of get closer so you guys can see. This is the female with some water on it. And I'll show you their mother and the other visual T-negative that I have that's not the father to this. The one to this is, yeah, free snake, good try. The sire to this one is my Goldeneye, and he just ate, so I'm not gonna be showing him. So Saturdays are my live feeding days because that's the day that my reptile rat provider, that's when he has office hours, I guess. So that's when I do the live feeding. So anyone that's live, you probably won't see. These guys are actually getting live today, but I thought I would do that afterwards. So here's one of the babies. This is the female. So actually on YouTube, they look really orange. They're a lot more yellow. And the dark spots, the dark striping that you see is actually going to turn, I think, more white. It could be more orange. Like through, okay, it's moving so freaking much. Through this area right here, I think she is going to be more orange. And then and then as we travel down this way, you can see a little bit more white. So in the pictures that I have on my Instagram, it's a lot more clear and easier to tell than when, you know, this girl's moving. So this is her. As you can see, she's huge. My Ivory, like, she puts out the biggest freaking babies ever. So, and I'll show you her. Actually, she is about 12 to 13 pounds when she is breeding and lays eggs. After she lays eggs, she literally goes down to like 7 pounds. And I'll show you, I haven't shown her this whole entire year because she's looked so bad because it takes so much out of her. But I'll show you guys, she has more weight on her, but not enough, but I'll go ahead and get her out too. So, this guy's gonna probably crawl all over the snake room because he's all wild now. I'll show you Jason. So Jason bought one of the T-negative 007s, and his is berries. He's gonna be really dirty, but this is a boy. All of them are eating, he's so dirty. All of them are eating frozen thawed weaned rats at this point. So they're pretty big. Like I said, they're chunky guys. So there's that one for you. So Jason, this is yours. As you can see, these guys are actually really nice, temperament-wise. They don't give me issues, which is great. So, you know, that's always a happy thing. So there's that one. The other one climbs in with a different one. All right, and then let me get the last one out. All right, so this is the last male here. As you can see, they all look really, really similar. So when I sell them, I really was like, which one do you want? Because they all look pretty much the same to me. The same with like the T-negative matrix that I did 2 years ago. Same thing with them. They all pretty much look the same. So here you go. Really good temperament. This one is for sale. This male is for sale. He's on Morph Market if you guys are interested in this one. He's so dirty. All right, let me show you their mom. I also have Jack out here as well, but he, oh gosh, he's on top of her tub. Here's Jack. And I'll show you guys him more. Actually, I'll just show you him now because he's starting to move around a lot. All right, so this is my visual T-negative Jack. He's a little bit hissy, so you might hear him hissing a little bit. And, you know, that's fine. Oh gosh, he's wrapping around this. There we go. So it's just easier to do that. All right, so we got Jack now, and he is a visual T negative, but normal pattern. He has no other genes mixed in, no other recessive, so he's just the double, he's just homozygous for T negative. He is 5 years old now, I think. No, older, he's 7. So 7 years old. And his coloring is absolutely gorgeous. I got him when he was 2 years old, so I could already see that his coloring was coming in. I paid a decent amount for him, but I think he is absolutely gorgeous, such a stunner. And when I first got him, he was super hissy, and I wasn't really used to blood pythons. This is what, like 5 years ago? And so I was a little bit nervous about him, but now I realize that that's just him. I'm doing a feature video on him specifically on my YouTube channel, so if you guys are interested in that, that is going to be there. Yeah, he's super cool. He used to, whenever I would pick him up, he would hiss and then stick out his hemipenes. So that's kind of funny. Unfortunately, he doesn't do that anymore, because otherwise I would show you, you know, snake anatomy. But he doesn't do it anymore, so, you know. But I love his saturation of his color here. I think, you know, it's really incredible, in my opinion. I obviously am very biased, but in my opinion, you know, he's, for me, the perfect T negative. I absolutely love him. He doesn't have a bunch of white on him, you know, and some of them are really interesting with that, but he's heavy. Even though he doesn't have a bunch of like crazy white pattern or anything, it's a very normal pattern. I just think the color saturation he has is amazing. And on the YouTube live stream, it is making him look like a clown. And he's a little bit deeper than that. On the Instagram, he does look true to color from what I'm seeing on the Instagram. So the difference from both of them. As you can see, when I handle them, because they are ambush predators that like to stay on the ground, they're terrestrial, I try to, you know, keep the bulk of his body supported. He's saying hello. But yeah, so that's him. And once they get warm and moving, they're harder. You know, it's going to be like almost like a mini package, like Burmese python, because they're so heavy bodied that it's just more difficult to handle them and keep them supported correctly. And they're in just such small packages. People say they're like mini Burms, which I think is really funny. So there's this guy. He is the sire to the Het T negatives that I am selling right now. So if you want some of this color in your T negative projects, you can pick up one of those for fairly cheap. I'm just selling them for $180. So if you want those, you know, you can hit me up for that. And that will be passing down his color. And the dam for that one is a very like deep brick red color. She's a normal Het T negative. So we got only two visuals out of that one. And that's because I had mold problems this year with my incubation. And I would say 2/3 of all my eggs that I had molded out and were done for. So what I did get, I got 4 normals from that and then 2 visuals, and I'm keeping one of the normals. One of the normals is incredible looking. She is just absolutely on fire. The color that she's gonna have when she gets older, I am so excited for. And of course, I'm keeping that one. But the other ones are still also looking pretty good as well. So let me just put him down, let him roam around. Go. All right, so now I'm gonna take out my T negative, visual T negative ivory. So that is matrix and matrix. For those of you that are interested in genetics at all, the matrix is incomplete dominant. That means when you have a heterozygous genotype in the animal, that the matrix is still going to show visually, so the phenotype will still show and be altered from the normal. And then they also have a super form, so if you have a homozygous, so you have both the matrix and the matrix in the genes from the mom and the dad, then you'll get the ivory pattern. So the ivory pattern is kind of, I like to think of it kind of as a checkerboard that goes down their back, and they are ivory in color when they are normal. So when they're T negative, They are cream, white, some are more orange, some are more coral color. So let me get this girl out for you and show you what she looks like. She has a blood stain on her head, so please forgive me. She ate, a couple days ago and still has a stain on her head. All right, so this is her. I got her the same time I got Jack. She's just 2 years younger than him. So she's 5 now. She is the mom of 2 clutches. So I have, if you guys have any T-negative matrix, they're from her and Jack. Those are the pairing for that. And then the 007s that I have, as well as the stripe matrix, this is the mom to that. What I really love about her, so let me see if I can see how orange it is in that pattern. That orange didn't really come out until she laid eggs the first time, and then she turned totally orange. So I think that was really cool. So you have this. I don't know if you can see them. Oh, they're over here. When, gosh, maybe a year, I feel like she's gonna pee. Maybe a year or 2 went into me having her, she had a respiratory infection. Jack is right by my feet. She had a respiratory infection, and the vet gave me Baytril, but just gave me straight Baytril. And she has a couple scars from injections of that. I'm really, pretty okay at giving injections, and she just hated them. And I was so new to everything that I didn't realize that the pH is off in Baytril, and so it actually burns them. And so, let me see, right here is a burn of hers. Can you see that? Right there. Yeah, right there. So she has a couple of those, but either way, she's still beautiful. I still love her. She was another one for me that was a little bit hissy and a little bit on the more aggressive side, but as you can see now, she's good to go. She is skinnier than I want her to be, but she's still not bad. You can see her spine coming through right here. So I'd probably want to put on another pound or so on her. And it's so funny when I'm like on doing sales or anything like that, people will ask me how much the babies weigh. I only know the weight of the normals because someone asked me. I mean, my brain just doesn't work in grams. Like, these guys are big. These are pound animals. And then as babies, I don't do a growth rate or anything because I just look at their body composition. If they're super small, then I know that, that's one that I have to kind of keep an eye on, and I have to feed a lot more regularly. And then if they're really fat, like these guys, then I'm good, Like I said earlier in the video, when she lays her clutches, she puts like everything into the eggs. Her babies are huge, but she loses 5 pounds of her weight, and it took her all year to get this weight back on. She basically has looked like crap all year. I haven't shown her at all because she just looks so terrible for, the time being. And that's something that you have to be aware of when you're breeding, is that some animals are great and put on the weight and it doesn't even look like they laid eggs, and other animals look like crap. And she looked terrible. She retained her first shed after she laid the eggs, and I just was soaked her all the time. And once she wanted to shed again, it all came off, and it was super thick and super nasty looking. But she's doing good now. And I really don't think I'm going to be breeding her again. I have other females that have more genes or have her genetics, so I don't really need to use her. If I do use her again, it's going to be, a year or 2 down the line, just because, it just takes so much out of her. And she's such a great snake. She really is. Like, as you can see, she just is easy to handle. Once again, I'm trying to support the bulk of her body as much as possible. But she's really, really great. On YouTube, I have to figure out like how to see like if you guys comment and stuff, because I can't see anything. I just see that you're there. So hello to the 3 people that are watching. But yeah, so this is one of my, I guess, my OG blood pythons. Actually, her and Jack are the ones I've had the absolute longest. I had a virus go through my collection about 3 years ago, and it took out a lot of my animals. And these guys are, the survivors of the old ones. So pretty awesome. I was really devastated. I had a really, really cool male ivory, literally my favorite snake ever. He was so good with kids. Like, you could pass him around for a blood python, right? You could pass him around to anyone, like a 2-year-old kid, and he was absolutely fine and did wonderfully. And he had, instead of her like cleaner pattern, his was a lot more pixelated and a lot more orange. He had a lot more orange in him, and his look was just so neat. And then he ended up getting the virus and passed. And when that happened, I ended up euthanizing every single animal in my collection that had symptoms, because that was just devastating to me. Him and another matrix that I had, it was just absolutely devastating. The 2 best snakes that I had in my collection, temperament-wise, and they were beautiful color-wise, and I lost them because of that. And so, yeah, if any of you guys are dealing with a virus right now, which, you know, the Nido thing's kind of an issue for some people at the moment, I really suggest euthanizing every single animal that you have that is showing symptoms if you want to keep your collection. If not, it's going to go through your whole entire collection, wipe you out, and you have to start all over. So that's my 2 cents. And something with Nido too, you can quarantine them for the full 90 days and they aren't symptomatic, and then, you know, something triggers it and it goes. So we're learning more about Nido. So thank you for everyone doing research on that. I'm going to put her down because, I don't know, she's annoying me with how much she's moving. I actually need to probably put her back because I do not want her locking up with Jack. I do not want that to happen. So any of you guys that are watching on Instagram, if you have any questions for me, please let me know. I did see a lot of questions as I was going, so if you have anything, you're welcome to PM me on YouTube. You can go ahead and comment and go ahead and let us know. Oh, I'm getting way too close. Like, I want to know. I do not want her to breed this year. She's not ready for that. Let me grab this one again. This little booger. So anyway, if you have any questions, I am probably best reached from Instagram or Facebook. So Facebook, you can find us on Designer Exotics, although some of the messages get hidden from me. So if you are friends with me on Facebook, I'm just April Justine. You're welcome to add me as a friend and PM me on that. Also, I am starting a Facebook group for women, so it's going to be Women in Reptiles, and start that. It's open right now, but it's just me. So if you are a woman in reptiles, please join that. Just look up facebook.com/groups/women in reptiles, and you'll find that. My goal for that is to bring us together in a really male-saturated, male-dominated industry. So that way we can build each other up, use each other for expertise on the different species that we own and that kind of thing. So I am very excited for that. So join me there. That'll be really fun. I'm also thinking about doing a live with different females in that group and making it into a podcast as well. So if that's something that you'd be interested in doing an interview with me, it'll probably be like a Zoom type of thing where we're both on camera and record that. That'd be great too. I think that'll be awesome for the hobby, since every podcast basically, except for, oh my gosh, what? From the Ground Up. I kept on thinking of your business name and not your podcast name. Anyway, From the Ground Up, has Melissa on there. So that's really cool. Here we are. All right. So I'm going to put these guys back. I'm going to feed these babies. Like I said, if you have any questions about anything you want to see next week, I'll keep doing these every Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. So, we can chat. And if you have questions on anything, you want to, I don't know, just shoot the shit, then that's fine too. But I will see you guys next time. All right. You guys have a great weekend. Bye.